I sometimes I feel like people need to understand when they survive the hater moment. I have I went through a lot of hater moments, and I just went through a hater moment, and I would love to share. I I make a decent amount of money. I had certain things going on in my young years where I'm able to now at 42 years of age, I'm able to sit back and make that money every month because of the work that I put in. Uh, if well, it's not enough money to where I can actually stop working, but if you play it the right way and you don't live above your means. See, I don't live above my means. I'm a recently been divorced. My kids, I only have one child. The other two are grown, and he makes money off me, and so my kids are never have been hungry. But at this present time now, I'm literally by myself. Um, you know, been a while. I have never really. I was an early parent. I was young when I had, and so these days it's kind of new to sit back and have like this type of money and stuff. So what it is I put myself at the spot for saving up money and doing that type of thing to where now where the money that I do draw every month that I make every month, I'm able to not work. And I've had a hater moment. Somebody, even though I'm 42, not young, you shouldn't a person that you shouldn't come to a person that is of a certain age and get mad at them because they don't work, but they still make money. They might just say if it was a social security check I draw, and say if I was my age now, and all I had was this social security, and I live in a cheap apartment. It doesn't, so every month, I pay my bills, and then somebody says, hey man, you need to go get a job. Now that man doesn't want to live above his means. So you have to understand, sometimes this isn't advice. That's the point of this video. Sometimes that person can be a hater and they're mad because they can't afford to sit back. Maybe they live above their means. Maybe they have a car that they're paying notes on or something. But you might maybe your car is paid off. Maybe, and you just single person just living, and they're still looking at you, telling you that you need a job. Now, if that person did need a job, then that means they wouldn't have a car. They were struggling on the bills, and the money that they get don't really take care of their personal needs. But if you're doing anything and you're not living above your means, which means everything that you want is what you got. You're not asking for nothing more, nothing less. And everything is taken care of: food, clothing, and shelter. It's not advice if somebody still looks down on you. If you're taking it easy and you don't have to actually get out and go clock in nowhere, but you still are handling your business. If there's someone around you that persists that you need a job and they want to make you feel bad because you don't have to get up as early as they do. You don't have to work and struggle as hard because they live above their means. Because if you're doing the things that you want to do, but you have to struggle and borrow money and work extra hour or whatever, and you're still broke at the end of the month, and you're still looking around like, if that means you're living above your means, that means the things that you're doing you can't even afford. You shouldn't get mad at anybody that's why are you looking at somebody that doesn't even want to do the things that you want to do in life? Maybe they would if they could, but they're not trying to like you. They're just content with what they have, and they're maintaining it. You can't tell that person that they need to get a job, or they don't want to work. They don't have to work. They don't have to get a job. It's a difference. It's a difference between somebody that need to get a job and need to work than somebody that don't have to get a job and don't have to work. You are going through a hater moment if anybody is coming at you like that. I just want my people to know that, because it's a lot of people out there that's going through this, and I have went through it, but I didn't know. Like, these are times when you doing good. Say you got your girlfriend. Man, I done been through a lot. I was at an early age, right? And I had a wife, kids. I was content with life as a young man, 25, 26, around those times. And I remember a lot of guys used to say, I'm not living the life. And I remember just turning, when we got older, I remember those same guys were online. I would see their picture on Facebook, thirsty, talking about how they wanted someone in their life, because they threw their life away trying to, I guess I used to say they threw their life away, but now I look at it like that's what they wanted too. You see what I'm saying? I was just going through a hater moment that I wasn't, because I used to second guess myself and say, dang, am I living the lame? Like, I literally used to kind of do that, but then, I look at my kids and I realize this was, yeah. But, I didn't realize. So, I want some of my younger people that's listening to this, realize when you're going through a hater moment, because it'll never stop. I'm in my 40s and I just went through a hater moment. You know what I mean? Somebody's trying to tell me that the way, me, my single life, my 1-bedroom apartment, I'm able to maintain it every day and just sit back, come out, look at the trees. And somebody told me that I needed to work. They looked around at me being comfortable and good in the night. They seen my position and my path that I'm on and still said, I'm going to give him some advice about. And it's so condescending at the same time, because you're coming you're at a higher spot looking down at me. And then if I lived your life, I would be struggling. And even though your house is bigger than mine and you have kids and, you have to work. You have to struggle like this. I mean, it shouldn't even be a struggle, because I didn't struggle with my kids. Whatever my kids was doing, they was able to do it every day. I didn't have to really borrow money from people to do it. But you're borrowing, y'all. You're struggling. You're going through the struggle, and you're just mad at somebody that don't have to go through the struggle like you. And you're telling them that in order for them to have the things that you have, they have to get a job. But you have the things that you have, and a job, and you're still struggling. That means that you are living above your means. And that's about as long as I'm going to make this video. I had to get that out, man. That was deep, For my people who don't understand when they're going through a hater moment, that's what I call a hater moment. Peace.